Good evening, good evening, good evening. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? This is IJ the African, and we have a special tonight. We have a special tonight. Now, this particular show is something personal, close to the heart, close to the spirit. This is the topic: Savannah Sons. Now, I could have used sons in any shape, form, or fashion, which is the SON, where we are the sons of Savannah State University. Right. We all went to Savannah State. We are the young lions, or we're gonna say the tigers because they Savannah, but behind me is the lion. I grew up. But we are definitely the sons, or I could have put SUN, the sons of Savannah. And this is about a boys to men journey. And when I say sons, meaning stars, meaning cosmic energy, creative intelligence, individuals who had the concept, or they were seekers. They came together as seekers until they became teachers. Woo! And so we're going to talk about that. And so we know every time that we up here on the African Speaks, we're dealing with the rise of the African inside you. Finding that God that's in you and letting that experience of your awareness of the Creator come out. Now these, as I bring them to the forefront, these them dudes, man. These them dudes that when you sitting down and you talk about, you remember the young days where you would talk and you would politic about concepts of the world, concepts of history, faith, religion, politics. You would sit down and we would politic about these, and then we were also allowed to be human, meaning that we was never holier than thou, but we were boys. And in the experience that I had coming across them again in my life, I realized that all three of us made the transition to men. And in African spirituality and African culture, that's a rites of passage. You don't just be a man just because you turn 18. You're just a lot of us are adult males. Adult males don't make you a man. And so there's certain things that make you a man or make us men. And so when I came in contact with these brothers, I was like, yo, we all went from boys to men. Now for me, and we'll pull them in and we'll have them tell you their names and their backgrounds and who they are in their faith. When I was coming up, I had one of my mentors ask me, what does it mean to be a man? And we all had these crazy, crazy concepts. And none of us was on point. And this we was in our spiritual environment. And he looked at us and said, a man is one who maturely seeks God and surrenders everything to God. So if you can surrender yourself to the Creator to find out who you are in the Creator and then ask God what He would have you, he, she, because God has, no gender, he, she, have you do in life, and then you pursue it, you then become a man or a woman. And these brothers, yeah, I was emotionally choked up. With my boys, I bumped into them. I said, yo, we all became men. And so let me bring to the table my man, Hanif and Jabril. Let
Yes,
me bring
sir.
it, man, man,
Yes, sir.
man.
Peace and blessings, my brother.
One love, one love, one
Good to see you,
love.
brother.
Yeah, it
Absolutely.
straight up tell you it was amazing to bump into y'all, you know what I'm saying? Especially to watch y'all in y'all zone. Um I want y'all to as we continue, because I didn't want anybody to think that, oh, they just friends. No, we grew into serving the most high and teaching others how to be within the most high. So it's more than just this, man, this connection. And it was funny because I ran across through you through Didi, right? You know, and I didn't understand the word bromance until I saw y'all again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So Hanif, you go first. Tell them the title and what you do professionally and what you do within in the Muslim community, please.
All right. So, I'm really not big into titles, but I would be a religious scholar, And in the secular world, I'm actually a therapist, life coach,
Mm,
overall good guy. And my whole purpose for existing is not to bring people towards a particular religion, but to actually bring people into the consciousness of who God is and what it is that God has for us, and to have people walk into their purpose.
mm,
And once you can do that, then all the other titles don't matter because you're still pushing towards the light, and that light is the light of God.
mm. Ain't that something? If that's not being a man, y'all, I don't know what it is. Jabril,
Yes, sir.
my man Jabril, go ahead and tell the people who you are, please.
Well, my name is Jabril. I'm also known as Jason Russell. As my good brother just said, I guess in the religious world, I'd be considered a religious scholar, if you will. I'm not big on titles either.
Mm,
I'm more so into, as my brother said, helping people walk with God or God consciousness. I'm more so interested in provoking people to their purpose.
mm,
You
mm.
know, igniting whatever fire it is inside of you to acknowledge who you really are, so that you can find who you ultimately are destined to be with. That's pretty. That's been my life, brother, since I was a teenager. As you said, you know, hadn't been no bed of roses over here. Can't act like I'm holier than thou. I'm just a human being, searching and trying to find my way to the ultimate cause. I
That's
don't
that.
ascribe gender. I don't ascribe gender to the ultimate reality because God is more than a noun. God is also a
Well,
verb.
well,
God
say
is
that
action.
again. Say that. God is
So that's
action.
it.
If that's not manhood, y'all, I don't know what is. What in the beginning? Because we take it back to the experiences of the beginning to get to them. So now they know who you are in this space and time. Let's take it back to where we all came together. What drove you to HBCU? Hanif, go ahead. What drove you to Savannah State? The HBCU is Savannah State. Or wait, let's just HBCU first.
Okay, so to be completely honest with you, um, when I finished high school, I had the opportunity to go to a lot of schools. And sometimes when you're at home, you really don't appreciate what it is that you have at home.
Mm,
So Savannah State wasn't necessarily that spot where I was going to say, yeah, I'm going to go here, because I had scholarships to go everywhere and anywhere I wanted to go in the country. But the thing I really liked about Savannah State, number one, was I wanted to stay close to home to help my mom.
mm,
My little brother was getting into all types of devilment, and I said, look, the model for Savannah State is you could get anywhere from here.
mm.
So I was like, right now to go and experience this thing with my people, amongst my people, to learn from some of the greatest minds from the point of view of black men and women. I didn't think that there was anything that was going to be better than that for me.
That's big. That's big. Jabril, how did you why did you choose the HBCU and what made you choose Savannah State?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't choose Savannah State. You know, honestly, I didn't choose college. I'll be
Wow.
completely honest with you. I went to high school. I did well in high school, but I wanted to join the military.
Mm,
I couldn't get in the military. I mean, I wanted to travel. I wanted to see the world like my parents, but you know, I couldn't get in at the time because of my asthma.
mm.
And so my high school counselor, he sat me down one day and he said, "Young man, what do you want to do with your life?" And I said, honestly, I don't know. I can't get in the military. I don't know what to do. I mean, the only other thing that crossed my mind was taking the path of a preacher, like, other men in my family. But I wasn't looking at that as a short term or whatnot. So my counselor called for a meeting with my mother.
Mm,
My mother was in the military. She was a captain in the Air
mm,
Force, and she was a graduate of Claflin College, now Claflin University,
mhm,
which is an HBCU.
mhm,
And he said this young man has too much potential to not have a clue as to what he wants to do. My mom wanted me to go to Auburn, but Bunnis Williams was his name, and Bunnis Williams and an art teacher of mine, Mr. Carter,
mm,
had both attended Savannah State. And Bunnis Williams said, if he goes to Auburn, he's just going to be a number.
mm,
How about you
mm,
send him to an HBCU? He said, like Savannah State.
mm,
He said, where he'll get the tutelage, he'll get the mentoring necessary for him to, kind of chart his course, chart his course. And that's what happened. Uh, I went, me and my parents, we went to the college around, that was July '87, and I think her name was Gwendolyn Brooks. I can't remember. Can't remember her last name right off. I believe it was Gwendolyn Brooks. I may be off. Please forgive me if that's not correct. But she was a mass comm major, and she gave us a tour of the school. And first walking around, I was like, man, this place is big, man. I don't know if I'll be able to get to these classes on time and whatnot. But that's what happened.
Now,
August '87. My daddy dropped me off, gave me a $20 bill, and said, "Make it happen."
make it happen. Hit the campus. Like $20 is gonna last you some time.
Hey man, but Savannah State introduced me into the lifetime concept of, hey man, you got to make it happen with
Happen. That's
with
it.
with the best that you have, with the
That-
tools that you have available. You got to make it happen.
Now I know for me, when I came to Savannah, I personally, I had a kid by that time. And so my journey leaving New York was to I need to find out the answers to one question. And that one question was why. Having a kid, coming out of New York, I knew my son was going to say it whatever he wanted to know about the world, he was going to look at me and be like, "Daddy, why?" And I had to come up with something. I never wanted to say I don't know. And so I'm finding a HBCU, and my best friend, Tawana Cruz, yo Julio, I know you watching. What's up? New York. She said, "Yo, there's a school in Georgia called Savannah State, and it said it's the college by the sea." And I was coming out of at that time I was living in Queens, but by the time I came to Savannah, I had already moved to Brooklyn and was living in Marcy Projects. But I was in Queens, and anytime I had things in my mind that I needed to work out and I needed to be by myself, but I didn't realize I wasn't walking by myself. I was walking in the midst of the creator. I would go to the beach and I would just take long walks. And I figured that if I went to Savannah while I was learning to answer the questions why about God, the universe, black people, and history, I could take a walk on the beach. Nobody told me that the beach was in Tybee and it was you couldn't get to it without a
Right.
car. So I was stuck. I was stuck. Here's the thing. Do y'all remember the conversations y'all would have, because there was a lot of dialogue on campus? Do y'all remember the politicking and the conversations in the building, and what do you remember about those experiences?
Yo, so I'm gonna go on and put it out there. So I remember you, Ajay. We was in the music class.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the good brother Jabril, I met him on campus, just politicking, just talking, and there was a group called Adam,
Adam. Yep.
Association of the
The
Original
original
Man.
man.
Right, ATOM, but we said it like Adam. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And with that, really just digging into what it meant to be the original man.
Mm.
I mean, look at
Mm.
that concept.
Right.
You teenagers talking about, hey, you know what? I am the original man, but not just saying I'm the original man for the sake of saying I'm the original man, but what are the responsibilities of being that original man? We were woke before this whole woke generation
Woke
were
up.
born. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I'm not gonna be vulgar. I'm not gonna be vulgar, but I'm gonna say it in a way I know you're gonna understand it.
Go ahead.
Yo, these woke cats are still on our back. They were still on our back. So
Exactly.
so you, at a young age, not only did we talk about this consciousness
Hmm.
of being a black man, but we also talked about the responsibilities we had as far as being responsible to our Lord.
Mm. Say it.
And
Say
through
it.
that vein, I met this brother that's on the line with us,
Come on.
the good brother Jabril,
Come on.
and then politicking with him. And he had some books by Ahmed Didat. Um, is the Bible God's word, and um, Jesus in Islam, just little
Hmm.
different books or whatever the case may be that he shared with me. And from that, we went from this association of the original man to saying, okay, I don't care how original the man is, I
Uh-huh.
need to get in touch with the one who
Who
created that
created that man?
original man.
Woo! That's powerful. Now, in that, man, there's so many ways we can go with this conversation. Y'all gonna have to come back on again because I want the people to understand who you are. And we want to talk about this brotherhood journey, but we need to have conversations like that. Okay, and so I'm gonna sit down and ask you to come back because we need to go politicking on that just to get some enlightenment. However, Jabril, tell me about the brother sitting right next to you, standing, on live streaming with you. How that hit you?
Oh man, so I can't remember when exactly when we first met, but I just what really comes to mind is that when we met, we've not been inseparable. Let me put it like that.
Wow.
I met what 1990 was
89,
that
90,
was that
somewhere
Yeah,
in there.
yeah, something like that. 89,
89
90.
90.
Mm-hmm.
So I might have just turned 20,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to give you a little backdrop. So when I met him, I had just pledged Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. I had just left the Nation of Islam, which I was a part of briefly. I was going through a black nationalist phase. I mean, I was consuming huge amounts of information
Information, data. Yeah.
that um, basically from 18 to 20, I was just consuming huge amounts of information. Like today we have the internet.
Mm.
You can go to Minister Google, put in
Well,
whatever you're looking for,
well.
and have it at the drop of a dime.
Right.
Most of what I learned, I had to go to Savannah State's library.
Woo! Wait,
You
wait,
know,
wait. Before
and
you before you continue, because that's clear. I remember sitting in class, in English class, mad because I'm like, y'all not. I came to HBCU to understand what it means to be a black man. You teaching me English. I would skip class to go to the library to learn about me. Mm. Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
okay, all right, no problem, man. I mean, so I was consuming huge amounts of information. I was reading like four, five, 6 books at a time, and I met. I guess what changed my life was when I met the late Dr. Khalid Muhammad when he came to
Mm-hmm.
Savannah
The
State,
state. Mm-hmm.
um, and he became like a big brother to. But at a certain point, I told Dr. Khalid that I had to go my own path because there were certain things I didn't agree with.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just moving, I'm moving, I'm moving. And in the process of that, I got with a brother named Mustafa, brother named Carlton Lowry,
Mm.
aka CeeLo, wherever you at. CeeLo from Piscataway, New Jersey.
Jersey,
Respect.
yeah.
Mm.
Um, good brother by the name of Joffrey,
Mm-hmm.
and another brother from Armstrong State. We met, and there was a couple of sisters. We met at Savannah State's library conference room,
Mm.
and it was there that we came up with this concept for an organization that was based upon knowledge of self.
Mm.
And I have to own the name Adam because I came up with the actual name,
Wow.
association of the original man.
That's
But
history
the
I
spin,
didn't know, brother.
yeah. So I have to own that. Everybody bought in to the concept,
We
but
did.
the spin on it was that it was spelled atom, but we would say Adam.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that was the spin on it. And in the course of that, I became, what I guess, what people would say, Muslim proper in Valdosta,
Mm.
Georgia. Then I came back to Savannah State, and that decision, some of my old heads who knew me, they was like, man, come on, man, with that Muslim stuff, man, and they wasn't used to me like, trying to live that life. And I have to be honest, man, I had
Right.
for a while, man, I had one foot trying to get to paradise, and the other foot trying to do OE. That's how it was, man. I'm just being honest,
Exactly. That's it. That's it. You come as you
you
are.
know.
And nobody's perfect when we make this journey. You just come as you are.
Yeah, and you don't become a saint in a day. So in the course of all of that, that's when I met this good brother Hanif.
My man.
You know,
Wow,
He said,
wow.
right,
it,
you right. Yo, he took us around the planet, right? That's
and
good though.
so yeah, and so in the course of all that, I met him. And let me tell you about this cat.
Go ahead.
This cat was a true backpacker. Both of y'all was backpackers, you know,
This is true.
because one moment he might be kicking it and parlaying it with cats. For those of you who are not familiar, Savannah State had what was once called the ignorant bench. You know, it was a it was a bench where if you didn't have nothing to do, if you wasn't on nothing, you sat on
You
it in
sat
front of the
on it.
student center.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Hanif might be kicking it and parlaying it with whoever, and in the same motion, he gonna if he saw a sister, he gonna turn around and start singing on one knee. You won't believe it if you never seen it.
Sorry.
I seen
Go
him true
ahead.
live. I seen him true live in full effect. That
That's
man
funny.
might be talking to somebody about, hey man, yo, word son, you got to know who God is, man. That's for yo.
Yo, ma, wait a
Tears
minute.
I see drop
Pop
from
from
your
your
eyes.
eyes.
Hey man, hey, I love
Hey,
this
listen,
cat,
man.
man. I love.
Sorry, that's
Hey,
funny.
man.
And
You
then
know,
I used to see y'all two at the old gym at dancing to the 10,000
Man,
watt booming system
come on.
with the backpack still
Oh.
on.
Randy T.
Definitely, right? Always. Oh, my friend of mine said, bruh. Yeah, I see you, Adrian. Thank you. And which is a beautiful thing. So I want to talk more about that bro connection because it's like that's when y'all went through your rites of passage together. You feel
That's
me?
right.
It was like a I heard about. I looked at your video, Hanif. I know about the background about the family. I never knew that you came from the depth of the family in terms of ministers in your family, right? And so it was natural for you to seek the Creator. How
Oh yeah.
seeking it on your own was a whole. That's a whole different level of, you know what, mom, pops, grandma, I got you. You know what I mean? However, I gotta find something that sits my within my spirit. And then you, Jabril, you on campus saying we got to pull together the body of individuals. I never knew, dude, that is so profound that you created the association of the original man, and the
I wasn't
concept.
the
You wasn't the
yeah, I
only one,
wasn't
but you was, but
right.
the concept of just sitting in that group politicking. Now the thing is, what I want to talk about is that the accountability journey that y'all had with each other, how the honesty that y'all share with each other. You know what I'm saying? How did that help you being accountable? Did y'all have those moments where you didn't see eye to eye, or you were struggling and you saw it in your boy's eyes and it's like, yo, you want to talk? Let's talk about that brotherhood connection throughout this journey. And not just the brotherhood on Savannah, but through Savannah to this day. Can you speak
So
on
let
that? Yeah,
before Hanif says something, this is why brotherhood is so important.
talk about it.
Because at a certain point, he had left. He transferred from Savannah State to
Mm,
Georgia Southern,
mm,
because at the time a man was Greg Louganis. He was on his swim game was mean,
mm,
so he had went to Georgia Southern to swim. And when he left, there wasn't too many of us, Muslim left on the campus. And just like with a lot of young people, man, if you ain't around certain influences, it's easy to get back into it. So he kind of seen me in some low places,
mm,
and he helped pull me back up. And I'm forever thankful for that. And that wasn't the first time, man. That wasn't the first time. I mean, he pulled me back up in school. And then later on in life, because sometimes life can hit you with some serious blows. It's part of that transition from boys to men, and when you out of school and you grown and you paying bills and you got a mortgage and whatnot,
mm,
sometimes life can hit you with some very serious blows. And my brother extended a very firm and brotherly
mm.
grip to me, and he helped me out tremendously, and I am forever thankful to have this brother as my brother,
Come on.
you know. And now we share another fraternal bond,
Well,
you know, of which I'm extremely excited and delighted about. But that's you've heard enough from me. This is the most
go.
you'll ever hear me speak.
I know.
So
Go ahead.
I'm gonna pass the mic. I'm gonna
Go
pass
ahead.
the mic to Hanif.
So, the Prophet Muhammad, may the peace and blessings of God be upon him, he said that once you and another individual have been friends for more than 20 years, you're no longer friends,
Mm,
but you're actually brothers.
mm,
And you share the rights of a natural brother. And, on my journey and my quest in this constant movement towards God and having an understanding of God, this brother had given me my shahada, or my declaration of faith.
mm.
He was the one who told me to repeat after him, Ashadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah. I bear witness that there is no God but
Well,
God,
well,
and that the Prophet Muhammad is the last and final prophet.
mm,
He's not his son, he's not a part of a deity, and this is what it is.
mm,
So, with this brother, I think that when people say, when you build in a relationship, not just a relationship with man and woman, but when you build in a brotherhood, what is it that you're basing your brotherhood on?
mm.
You could base it on sports, that's good. You could base it on common interests,
Well,
that's good.
well,
But if you basing your friendship, your relationship with someone with your love of God, then it goes to a whole nother level, because what we were trying to do in our journeys at Savannah State and beyond was to figure out what is it that God wants us to do, and how is it that we could push each other towards that. The Quran tells us to vie against each other in good deeds,
Mm.
to vie against each other, to compete against each other in our love for Him. So that's been a good friendly competition. I mean, like you guys mentioned earlier, there were no there was no internet.
Right.
So, books on Islam were very hard to come by. So all the Islamic books in Savannah State's library, that brother turned me on to it.
Mm.
So I went to the library and I read. But then what I started doing too was I started writing the publishers. These young kids don't know nothing about opening up the bibliography page and writing down the address to the publishers of the book and requesting them to send other
Send.
publications that
Right.
they have.
Right.
So in order to get that knowledge, we had to do that. We traveled throughout the nation. We traveled up to New York, out to Houston, here to Atlanta, from Savannah, in search of knowledge. So that was the thing. That bond was the thing that held us together. And the reality is that you are your brother's keeper.
Come on.
And something that I learned through the faith is, the prophet says, "Say ye not that you're a believer until you want for your brother that in which you want for,
Want for
for
yourself.
yourself."
Woo. Say that one more time.
That you are not a believer until you want
Come on.
for your brother that in which that you want for yourself. And the Muslim is the mirror image of a Muslim.
Mm.
So when you're looking at your brother, you're actually looking at yourself. And that's just not from the Islamic point of view, but that's from a humankind point of
Kind of point
view.
of view.
Because here's the thing that's crazy. I'm gonna get to you. The
Come on.
times that I've seen you
Mm.
here in Atlanta, other than the last time I saw you, I've always saw you at the shrine.
Always. Always.
Always.
Always.
I'm talking about we could go 30 years, almost 30 years
30
ago
years.
back. Yeah,
Always. Yes.
right.
Absolutely. I didn't move.
At the shrine, somewhere around when we saw each other, it was always there.
Yes.
Again, that brotherhood with that quest and that love for the creator is the thing that cements you.
Mm.
It puts your hearts together
Come on.
and you embrace each other and you push each other in order to be better servants, not only to the creator, but to
To
mankind.
many. Beautiful. Because the next conversation I was going to have was when it says, where two or more gather, there shall I be. And sometimes that's not always the case because it
Right.
depends on the mindset of the two that are together. So if you're not under the right and righteous mindset, God can't exist, even though God is everywhere. But your level of awareness of God in between the friendship may not be there. And so, how talk to individuals, and I know you got to go in a few minutes, so we're not going to stay too long, Jabril, and I'm not going to keep you too long, Sheikh Hanif, Sheikh Jabril. Talk about the importance of having that quality best friend, that quality, that person next to you that continues to push you, seeking the creator, so that you can be the mirror image of what they that tennis match of righteousness in between each other.
You know, it's funny. That the whole concept of brotherhood, I've always I grew up around it.
Mm,
I didn't realize it,
mm,
but I grew up around it. Whether it was through my grandfather, who was a Prince Hall Mason,
mm-hmm,
or being the chairman of the deacon board at church.
mm,
I always saw my grandfather around strong, positive men,
mm,
whether they were men in my family or men in our community. My father, being in the military, he came up with a band of brothers.
Mm.
My father's Vietnam War vet. He retired after 26 years. My mother uh, did 14 years in the Air Force. So I grew up seeing the camaraderie that existed amongst, military veterans. So when I came to Savannah State, and I can gladly say that crew I came in with my freshman year, we're all pretty much still intact. A few of us have transitioned on to the next life, but for those of us who are still here, we do pretty good at keeping in contact with one another.
Mm.
So I've always understood the concept of brotherhood, and then it 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 the ante upped, if you will, when I pledged. You know, that was a rite of passage.
Mm.
Going through a process with guys who I knew absolutely nothing about, but because of this process that we were going through, we had to start depending upon each other. And as we saw, I started off with a line of 10, and three of us finished.
Mm. Wow.
And as we started seeing, guys dropping off
Drop
that
off.
line, you know, though us three who was left, we had to really depend upon each other.
Mm.
Then becoming a Muslim, there wasn't that many of us at Savannah State. When I first became Muslim, there may have been like three or four. By the time I graduated, there was about 80 of us,
Mm-hmm.
because especially after meeting Hanif, I started going on this little tear where I was taking people to the masjid every other Friday to hear the message of Islam
Mm.
and what Islam is about. It's not the thing that you hear about in the papers or on the internet or whatnot. It
Right.
has a totally different construct than what people think it means. Even for a lot of Muslims, it's a totally different construct than what many people understand it to be. So here it is. I became Muslim at 19. Here it is. I'm 52. I'll be 53 in a couple of months. So what we talking? Uh, 33 years
And
now
as
as a Muslim.
and you're a scholar. Check,
And and
Jabril.
and,
Come on.
and I appreciate that, brother, but I have to push back on that because I'm a student
We
first.
always, yeah, always. We're
Yeah,
always that,
I'm
yeah.
I'm
Always.
forever a student, and
Always.
I don't like to use for me. I don't like to use that term scholar for myself because it has a special connotation for me, if that
I
makes
feel you.
sense.
Hmm.
Because even in brotherhood, there's a hierarchy. You and your man can be tight, but even amongst you and your man, there's a hierarchy. You know,
No,
so
it ain't.
when but there is.
Yeah.
It's an unspoken.
Unspoken one. Yes, it is.
Yeah, because which of you have depended upon the other the most.
Mm.
You know which of you have had to hold the other one down the most.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all brothers, but and that's the thing that makes brotherhood so special when you can be honest and transparent about
Parent
that.
about
You
everything.
know,
Come on.
a lot of us we like to have revisionist uh histories of our relationships. I don't I don't deal in the revisionism. I just deal with what's what.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one's perception is their reality. So my reality is this: the, this brother in the screen next to me.
Mm-hmm.
This is my brother. I
Mm-hmm.
love him. I love him as if he was my blood. As if we came out the same
Same
womb.
boom. Talk
You
about it.
know, and that's what makes brotherhood special.
Yeah.
You know, I remember seeing you years ago running with the. I used to call y'all the tri-state crew. You know,
I had to get
because
rid of
y'all
them.
ran, but y'all ran
We ran tight.
hard.
We ran tight.
Y'all was a team. And no matter what your past may be in life, Y'all went through something together, and you will
Hmm.
forever be linked
Hmm.
because of those things that you went through together. Me and this brother, we are forever tied at the hip. When we talk about, it's so funny, and I know I'm talking too much, but I can't speak enough about this brother
Come on.
because, one of the things what's so important about brotherhood is when you hold people up in the darkest moments, not
Mm.
just the moments that they're happy and
Happy.
they're able to ball, but when you can hold people up in the darkest moments. You know, I went through a period in my life where, again, it just seemed like life's blows was just like unrelenting, back to back to back. If it wasn't uh, a loss of a job, or if it wasn't uh, a home, if it wasn't family or whatever, this brother really, really extended his grip to me, man, and I'm forever grateful. And
Mm.
that's one thing we as black men we have to start doing more of. We have to be there's nothing punk about showing your emotions
Their
or your
emotions.
feelings for your brother. I
That's
mean,
it.
because if we don't show up for each other, who else will
Who
show
else
it
gonna
to
do
us?
it? That's the purpose
Who
of
else
us.
is going to give it to us?
That's it.
Give people their flowers while they're here.
Here.
Don't wait till they gone, man. Just talk about how great somebody was, or how beautiful they was, and
Right.
how good they were to me. Give it to them now, man, while they can hear it
Mm.
and know that they are appreciated. Just like Tupac said, you are appreciated.
That's it. That's it. That's one of the things that, again, when I came to the IFTA and I was there, and I was experiencing it, and I watched y'all come together. You know, again, I paused. I said, because a brotherhood like this, I can't say I had somebody going through this journey with me and still with me. I got friends who, when I got to the shrine, we moved forward. But even now, the bond y'all have is deeply unique, deeply special. And
It,
so that brotherhood, you can't, man, and it just connected. And my thing was, I said there are very few friends that I can sit down and talk about who talked about finding their place in the creator as youth. And then you see us in our hidden 50s, and we can say we're here and we're not going nowhere else. That right
I say,
there, man.
I say, I've known this brother for well over half my life.
Mm.
Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Mm.
For over half my life. So out of these 30 something years, 10 of them we spent in housing or seminary together.
Right.
From
Right.
'02, took my last housing class, seminary class in 12.
Mm.
So 10 years we spent in seminary together,
Mm.
you know. So with life's battering ram, families, and everything else that life has to hit you with, we were still trying to search for God together.
Mm.
Every Everybody asks three questions. I don't care if you are Eskimo. I don't care if you are a member of the Bantu tribe in in Southern Africa.
Right.
Everybody asks, "Who am I? Where
Who
am I?
am
And
I?
where am I going?"
Exactly.
You know. And I've
Exactly.
been asking them three same questions with this brother
Come
for
on.
over half my life, and every time the answer becomes more refined.
Mm. That's beautiful, brother. Hanif, before I say something, you want to say something, because we just got a little time left.
Yeah. So, to be completely honest with you, man, um, I'm humbled by the kind words that the good brother said, and definitely the feelings are mutual.
Hmm.
I think what happens is, and I'm not gonna, because of the time, I'm just gonna put it in a nutshell. I've had the opportunity to deal with a whole lot of people of a whole lot of different ethnicities.
Mm.
And what I've learned is that a lot of those people of other ethnicities, they look at us as black men and they say that, they never want to work with us because we can't work together.
Wow.
And when you have people that you've been friends with, that you've been brothers with for over 30 years, and you continue to be with those individuals, you disprove this foolishness that these people are talking about.
Talking.
And when you're talking about what it is that we dealt with and how we dealt
Come
with
on.
it, we weren't on the dumbness. We weren't getting high. We weren't getting drunk. We were feeding people.
And each other.
Not and each other. Not only physically feeding each other, but we were also educating each other, helping each other to get to a higher spiritual plane, having that understanding that, you know what, man, that brotherhood that you're talking about, where you hold each other accountable, where you put each other's feet to the fire, and when you see your brother slipping, you hold his slip, but you reprimand him and say, hey, man, excuse the language, man, get your shit together
Come
and
on.
let's go.
Let's go.
That brother could say that to me, and I'm not gonna be mad. I'm gonna say it to him. He's not gonna be mad. We're gonna dap it up. We're gonna pound it up, and we're gonna keep back. We're gonna get back on this straight path towards what it is that God has for us. So, looking at you guys right now, man, we was young and sexy.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm still a little bit of that.
Oh no, I mean, it's there. But what I was gonna say is, is like good cheese and wine. We definitely got better with time.
That's it. We sure did.
We're not as impetuous.
Mm,
We're not so quick to judge. We don't fall in the same traps we used to fall in.
mm.
And right now, the greater appreciation, knowing that time is not on our side as far as that's concerned, but to be joined in that brotherhood and that love for God continues to hold us together, there's nothing better than that.
No. And again, it's pushing late, and I don't want to have Jabril just disappear, and I want to take your time up, but I appreciate y'all. I want to say that I love y'all both. I love
Yes,
what y'all
sir.
represented, man. Then I love what you represent now, and I love what you represent in the future. Um, definitely deeply connected to y'all. And this is definitely an example. I don't know if y'all. This again, I want to bring y'all back and just politic on some philosophies, some themes. But this is something that young black men should see. It's not who. It's not just having somebody in your life 30 years, but what they represent while they're in your life. That makes the
That's right.
difference, and what y'all put together and what you manifest. I can truly say you two are definitely sons of Savannah. And that's either the birth of the brotherhood and the shining star. Man,
Yes, sir.
when I saw y'all again, I'm emotionally caught up. I have a friend where she's making faces on Facebook like I'm about to cry because I am. Cause I am, man. Love you, brothers. Love everything and the struggle. I would love to hear more about the journey that y'all took together, and then the things that y'all
Whenever you're
do
ready,
now.
man.
Yeah, and the things that y'all do now in the community that helps maintain and sustain and change the community to what God has called us to be. So I thank y'all. So if you gotta go, I understand. I'm gonna slip off to this other screen to close out the show.
Thank you for having me, brother.
Man,
Yes, sir. Peace
yeah,
and blessings.
thank y'all for being y'all, man. This is years
Oh
later,
yeah,
again coming up. I never understood. I see I'm getting emotional. I never understood the bromance till I saw y'all, and I saw what y'all you was doing. I saw the community around you. I said these was God was with us in our youth, and God is with us now. That I can say.
that's
Yes,
right.
sir.
One love.
One
One
love.
love, brother.
Wow, wow. Savannah has always been my second home after I left New York. Even that all the years I live in Atlanta, Savannah has always been my second home. Savannah is the place where, when I left New York, I said I need to find God, and He brought me around friends that was looking for God with the same energy that I was looking for God. And we talked and we politicked. They didn't know I was dealing with my own personal traumas. They didn't even know about the experiences of my homelessness at certain times. Anytime I saw them, we could sit down and talk. And the encouragement I needed to walk forward in my walk happened because of that unspoken brotherhood in God. So if you're looking to see who you have around you and you're trying to move forward, you have to have those, as he said, who want what you want. I want what I want for myself, for you. That is loving your God with all your heart, mind, and soul, and loving your brother as thyself. Come on. Beautiful. Definitely the Sons, SON, and the Sons, SUN, of Savannah. That's the special show. Hopefully, I'll have my boys up here again. Y'all know my man Kalonji. I'm looking to have Kalonji up in here, and we politic and we talk about building an experience where we can have a rites of passage for young black men, and we can get the sisters in it. Young black men and young black women have those experiences where they're finding who they are in God and they are able to manifest the things that they are called to do. That, again, is the rise of the African within. And with that being said, I ask you people, everybody watching it can hear me to the sound of my voice. I wish you peace and blessings until we see each other again. This is a JD African. One love. We out. Hold on. Let me switch back. Let me switch back. How you feel about the show, my man?
Yo, that's what it was, man.
Man, it's dope. It's dope. I appreciate y'all, man. I didn't know once Jabril. That's the most I've ever heard Jabril speak.
Yo, that's my
I,
man's in them, man.
yeah. And then just having the exchanges and letting people see what it looks like for brothers to connect, and
Oh yeah.
that's a beautiful thing. And so we definitely got to do something. I wish we'd have had longer. I would have mentioned the Monday night piece. Uh, um,
Yo, no
Mental Health
worries, man.
Mondays. Yeah, but we're gonna do this again, and I'm definitely gonna work with you on helping you get that to perfect it as the way you want it to be presented. So whatever I can
Yo,
do, just let me know.
yeah, I like. I probably just need like an introduction. Do you do logos?
Yeah, I can. I'm not great, but I can. I do
Okay.
everything that you see. I do everything myself. So, you know.
All right. All
So
right. Yo,
if you
so
have
we're
an
about to
idea,
do this meeting. I'm
go
gonna
ahead,
hit you back.
all right, cause I got one too. I holler at you.
All right. Peace and blessings, my brother.
Peace, my man. So let's go. Switch. Let's see here. You figured it out yet? Oh wait. We was. Oh man. Hit no. Oh wait.